You and I learn our ABCs just about as soon as we learn to talk. It's a good thing, too, considering the alphabet soup of acronyms we confront at a relatively early age. A case in point can be found in Florida. Students, parents, and teachers are up in arms over something called FSA, the Florida Standards Assessment Test. Now imagine the outcry if it had just been named the Florida Assessment Test, or FAT for short. At any rate, a student spelled out her concerns about the test at a recent meeting of the Hernando County School Board. Let's watch Sydney Smoot, a fourth grader at Brooksville Elementary School.
I consider myself a well-educated young lady. However, with FSA tests, my 5 years of school all on roll do not matter. This testing looks at me as a number. One test defines me as either a failure or a success through a numbered rubric. One test at the end of the year that the teacher or myself will not even see the grade until after the school year is already over. I do not feel that all this FSA testing is accurate to tell how successful I am. It doesn't take into account of all my knowledge and abilities, just a small percentage.
Now, students have complained about tests as long as there have been students and tests. But don't consider the point moot. From young Miss Sydney Smoot, the fourth grader adds some other concerns worth noting.
First of all, I do not feel good about a form in the FSA that you have to sign ensuring that you can't even discuss the test with your parents. I am not comfortable signing something like this. I have the right to talk to my parents about any and everything related to school and my education. Second, why am I being forced to take a test that hasn't even been testing on students here in Florida so happen to be accurate and valid on what I know? Why are we taking most of the year stressing and prepping for one test at the end of the year when we should be taking tests throughout the year that really measure our abilities? My opinion is that we should take a test at the beginning of the year, middle, and end of the school year to accurately measure what we know.
Sydney Smoot did not address the school board just to complain about the test. She also offered some solutions. In fact, the tenor of her presentation led those in attendance at this school board meeting to give her a standing ovation.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the school board, I urge you to put a stop to high-stakes testing today. It is not good for the schools, teachers, and students. Parents and students, contact your governor. Put a stop to all the standardized testing. Thank you so much for your time.
Agree or disagree with young Miss Smoot, you and I may have seen a certain passion take root, a passion reflected in someone you and I now simply know as Newt. From the archives of the Associated Press, Dateline, Harrisonburg, Pennsylvania, the year 1954, the headline, 11-year-old advocates start of a local zoo. Quote, young Newton Gingrich told Mayor Claude Robbins and 4 city councilmen that he and a number of youthful buddies could round up enough animals to get the project started, end quote. Actually, the AP, as is so often the case, wasn't telling the whole story. Turns out that young Newt had done his homework, researching the cost of certain exotic animals and supplying that research to the City Council of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He then volunteered his own time and that of his young friends to help obtain some more common fauna from the local area. But that early advocacy, it can be argued, eventually led to the speakership and, of course, a couple of years back, a run for president. Might we see the same from young Sydney Smoot? We'll see in about 30 years. But we did see in action the notion that one who is a citizen is not deprived of freedom of expression even if they're not old enough to exercise the franchise. So those who are concerned about the academic standards for young people in the state of Florida would do well to consider the case of Lindsay Smoot. I think she's more than precious or precocious. She actually had some good points to make. And that's the way I see it.